For those of you who don't know, let me just explain how... So every draft format is different from the previous draft formats. With this game, with this... oh, hold up. So with this format, there are 5... Basically, all the enemy color pairs are different teams for... Are the 5 different decks you could draft, basically. So there are 5 enemy color pairs that you use. With that, what I've noticed is there's not many bombs in this format, and the bombs that are there are all combo cards. And what you get from all those combinations is you need to figure out what cards you can get. If you get an awesome, like, card that's red and blue, but then everyone else is taking the red and blue stuff, you can't do that. You need to find the college that is not being taken, basically. That's your job. You have to find the cards that are available to you. So, I'm going to be speculating and not deciding on a deck for the vast majority of the first pack. That is my goal. In the moments, I might forget. This is my first draft in a long time, but that is my goal. To not commit to a 2-color combination until the very end. But I don't just pick 1-color combination cards, because there's not many. Everything's, like, multicolored. So I speculate for the best card. Alright, so Witherbloom Command is really a kill spell. I don't think Witherbloom Command is actually that good. Hey, Suicune, how's it going? We're doing a draft. I'm just trying to figure out what I want to take. So, Master Symmetrist is pretty nice. It has reach. It's a way through for the decks that need it. Humiliate's pretty nice. I'm going to go with Master Symmetrist because it works for more decks and is a bomb. Witherbloom Command is not bad, but it is not good enough. So the mill 3 cards is basically unplayable. The lose 2 life, you gain 2 life is very rarely useful. So it's just basically a -3/-1, which at sorcery speed is not that good. And destroy target creature non-land permanent with value 2 or less. There's very few of those permanents. Suicune, you are burnt out, leveled every day for 12 days in a row in World of Warcraft, and still 7 levels to go. Jeez. 12-hour days. 7 in it. Gosh. Rough. Well, we have our Master Symmetrist, so we're going to continue. And we are not green. I want to be clear. We are not green. We are still picking the best spell every time. Alright. So, Eye Twitch, Negate, and I think that's really the choices. He took a rare? I probably should have looked at what was still available. We're getting a lot of... Expressive Iteration, if that comes back, if Expressive Iteration makes it all the way back, then that's a big tell that this color is... that blue-red is available. Otherwise, either Eye Twitch or Negate. So Learn will help me with these lesson cards to basically get additional cards. And non-creature spell is basically what this game is all around right now. This draft format is all about spells, and instants, and sorceries. So I think I'm going to grab the Negate. Again, I'm speculating. I'm not just saying I'm blue-green, but I am speculating to say I'm happy if I am blue-green. And in that form of speculation, I am taking the Return Pass color here. So even though neither of my colors synergize with it, this is a very powerful card. It returns another, like, technically 2 Return Pass colors together could keep returning themselves and give you a big destructive force. Fortifying Draught's not bad at all, but as I said, I don't want to commit to Quandrix just yet. Or do I? No, we don't commit. We don't commit. We look for our lane. We look for our lane. Like right here, look. We have good black and whites. So Silver Quill Plague Mage, choice of Flying and Lifelink, that's pretty good. Inkling Summoning is a great lesson. Spectre of the Fens is a win condition. Shadeweed Laureate. If you could get the Shadeweed Laureate deck, you're powerful. It's just, can you get the Shadeweed Laureate deck? I'm going to keep speculating. I'm going to keep speculating for the Shadeweed Laureate deck. So this card is basically black-white flyers is the theme. Whew. So we're going to speculate on the Shadeweed Laureate. And so if that ends up being available, that's ours. Alright. Cody Vociferous Codex. Unfortunately, everything's a creature that we have, so I can't really go with the And the Cody deck is really hard, because you can't cast permanent spells, as it says. So, Leyline Invocation's nice. It does, in fact, look like Quandrix was the correct route. I'm still happy I took the Return Pass call on Shadeweed and Laureate, just in case. But it looks like the blue-green is going to be our colors, and Team Pennant really helps with that. And if it doesn't, then hey, guess what? We got Team Pennant. Team Pennant's not a bad card. Yep, and for that green-blue deck, Leyline Invocation is perfect. It's just a big old body. It creates a 6/6 at worst. Alright. Divine Gambit's not bad, but as I said, I think we are looking at what's available, and it looks like the colors have been taken. At the very least, we're green. Whether we're also blue is within question. Whether we're blue or black is within question. But that means we are not using either of these. Let's grab the Team Pennant. I like Team Pennant. I think it's underrated. It equips for 3, gives you trample, which helps you with board stalls, which happens a lot in this format. Oof. I don't think any of these are really playable. As always, green. Hey, look, I tried to try other decks. It was just what was available, okay? Suicune, this is not a format where you force a color. This is not a format where you force a color. I took what was given to me. I'm going to take the Crushing Disappointment in case we end up black, so I could have card draw. But yeah, Team Pennant, Master Symmetrist. This is 3 ways to give big old Leyline Invocations trample, which does work for our decks. Alright, big old Fractal Summoning, great lesson to take. And yeah, well, Burrock Befuddler is the only real other option. Let's just take the lesson. And this is, yeah, so now we're at pick 9. Anything that's still rotated around as a good multicolored card tells us that that color is open. And because we took these, we might actually be able to transform into that deck, basically. Yeah. We are not guaranteed blue. We have very little to tell us we're blue. So we could be black, because green-black is another combination. Alright. Curate or Cram Session. So no matter which path we take, Cram Session is playable, and it is a learn. We already have 1 Fractal Summoning. We'll want more lessons as we go. And I don't really think highly of Curate. Clockwork Archivist, if I didn't have a Master Symmetrist, I would consider. Alright, looks like I don't blame him. He's thinking through. These are tough packs. Yeah, I think we're definitely green at this point. The Team Pennant. The thing that's cool is that the Team Pennants can be thrown into other decks. The Team Pennants can be thrown in a black-white deck just to make my little guys a little bigger. Alright, Golden Ratio came all the way around. Which, as I was saying, shows that green-blue is available. There's also black, red, white. Between the two, I will say Golden Ratio is not the best, but I think it is notably better than Thrilling Discovery. That being said, looks like red was open. Yeah, red was open in some way or another, but we're not red. Golden Ratio might be pulled because it's really hard to get working. Because you need at least you need a minimum of 2 creatures to draw 2 cards. And if they have to be 2 very precise creatures. If this was 2 mana, I could see this card. But at 3 mana, this is just a bad divination. It's a divination that has a lot of prerequisites. And it's like, oh, but if you get even further in those prerequisites, you draw even more cards. Well, if I even further those prerequisites, I've won the game. But yeah, you will find yourself with not many creatures. So do have to make sure to account for that. And yeah, this is why I'm green. Look at this Leyline Invocation that I just got. Leyline Invocation is great. Alright. Thrilling Discovery or Dragon's Approach. Yeah, we'll just sideboard that. Just so I can get that in my pool of cards. Alright. Dean of Perfection. I think we are committed to our colors now. 10 the Pest is not bad at all. But I think we're committed to our colors, and we just got offered a Leyline Invocation, a third Leyline Invocation, and a Field Trip. So it's the question of which I want. We have a Fractal Summoning already. So the Field Trip does have a lesson to grab. And then, yeah, Vortex Winner is a win condition. Leyline Invocation, still, as I said, good. This could ramp us to our Leyline Invocations. Yeah, and last time a Leyline Invocation made it all the way around the table, so I'll just trust that does it again. Alright, Quandrix Apprentice. Beautiful 2-drop. Gets us more lands. Beautiful. And look, we have another Leyline and a Quandrix Camet coming around next time. I like this. We're going to have, like, a full set of Leyline invocations and a pair of Team Pennants to put on our creatures, which, keep in mind, again, these will make at minimum 6/6 tokens. They only cost 2 mana, 1 to play, 1 to equip, to make them now 7/7s with Vigilance and Trample. Alright. Manifestation Sage. So, we can make more fractals, and it looks like it is our colors. Or we could Quandrix Campus. I don't need a 3rd Team Pennant. I think 2 Team Pennants is more than enough. So it's just a question of Quandrix Pledge Mage, or Manifestation Sage, or Quandrix Campus. I think we're going with the rare. Let's try out the rare. It's a 2/2 that creates maybe a 3/3, maybe a 4/4. I'm trying to explain it the best I can, Suicune, but this is a complicated set if you don't know what's going on. This set is very much about instants and sorceries, and a lot of them create creatures. So our deck is Quandrix, which basically means we're just making these big old fractal tokens, which just have a huge amount of +1/+1 counters. And our win condition is we're just going to make the biggest creature on the board, use this to give it trample, and slam into their face. That's our win condition. Alright. Another Vortex Runner could be good. So Vortex Runners is another win condition, but we already have 3 trample means on top of 3 invocations, so I think big size, it's, yeah, big and in their face. That's the language you need to understand. It's just, this is all combo oriented, so it's really weird how we do it. So I'm going to pick up 1 Quandrix Campus and hope the Vortex Runner comes back around. Also, the double major might come back around. I don't think we're fighting anyone for this. But there's not many, there's only like Master Symmetrist for this to copy. So I'm going to grab Quandrix Campus. The additional scry is going to be very powerful in the late game. Alright, Mentor's Guidance, we need a Cleric, Druid, Shaman, Warlock, or Wizard. We have 1 Druid, 1 Wizard, 1 Wizard, 1 Wizard. Okay, we actually have a good amount of Wizards for Mentor's Guidance. That's good to know. We already have our campus. So the question is, do we want a Field Trip? Do we want a Mentor's Guidance? Okay, so we can actually check. Well, I think there was 4. There was 4 of them. So it's Field Trip for... I think we're going to grab Field Trip because we are a ramp deck. Because our Leyline invocations are our win conditions. It's one of these two. I'll go with Mentor's Guidance just because it's the uncommon, but definitely a tough one. Alright. Most of these are unplayable because of our color combinations. Needlethor Drake is playable. And it will help us with flying threats. There is a flying deck in this format. And hey, look, another Leyline invocation. And pick... Ooh, Eureka Moment. So we actually do need some card draw. So I'm happy with the Eureka Moment. And then... yeah, it also acts as ramp. So our card draw is also ramp, which is really awesome. We only have 1 lesson right now, so we will need to get more. But we have 3 Leyline invocations. We're probably going to get a 4th, because I do know in my pack, the 2 that Snuggles are looking at right now, last time we saw those packs, they both had Leyline invocations, and people seem to not be taking them. Someone's taking the Leyline invocations. Alright. We'll take the lesson, or the spectacle. Yeah, we'll just take the lesson in case we end up somehow being able to splash that. Alright. We'll take the Quandrix Campus, because someone's taking the Leyline invocations now. Alright, we'll take the Letter of Acceptance, but I'm not going to play it just yet. But I have 3 Leyline invocations, so I'm not denied yet. Just not where I want to be. But I have 2 letters now, which is pretty nice. In case I need them. Alright. But yeah. Eureka Moment's really nice. Alongside some good cards. Golden Ratio might be pulled. But we're going to wait to see everything. Actually, we'll just pull that now. Because, like, I'm not... Well, then I'd pull Cram Section as well. I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait... Just keep all my playables here. I'm going to put this over here in case we can get black. Because splashing black is much more of a possibility, and Spectre of the Fens is a late game win condition. Campus Guide helps with that splash. Yeah, I'm just picking the splash cards when I can't pick a card, you know. I will be noting a kind of worry. Hey, Mindful Line. I am noting a sort of worry. I only have like 16 playables right now. And another Manifestation Sage. Okay, let's go with that. Let's keep going. We can do this. Alright. Pop Quiz. Yep. Pop Quiz or Serpentine Curve. We have 11 non-creatures, so Serpentine Curve is not a bad card. So it's Pop Quiz or Serpentine Curve, so either card draw that also helps us learn. We only have one lesson, and we already have 2 learn cards. So I'm actually going to go with Serpentine Curve here and grab Pop Quiz another day. And look at our curve. Yeah, we're good on all the like lineups. And we need more playables over the other effects. So, okay. So Kelpie Guide and Wormhole Serpent. 2 really good cards for our deck. So this one could basically say, oh, we have this big 10-10 Leyline invocation. Let's make it unblockable. That's going to end the game. The other one is a good control element and a good ramp element. And it like fits for our deck. I think because we have 0 5-drops, we're going to pick the Wormhole Serpent between the 2. Alright. Creative Outburst. Unfortunately, the double red might be a little tough to do. Curate. How does Reflective Golem? Okay. So, I need a spell that targets it. Which doesn't exist. Not in my deck, at least. Alright. Some good cards. But I'm going to pick the Curate. Just help us get through our deck. Make sure we have all the playables. Another Fractal Summoning. Let's see how our 2-drops are looking. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this format isn't too worried about 2-drops, but it's just, do I want an Arcane Subtraction or do I want actual lessons to grab? I think I want actual lessons to grab. It's tough, though. This will slow them down. This will slow them down. Yeah, I'm just... It's not an easy decision. And we actually got kind of rewarded, because this is a much better lesson. This is a much better lesson. Or do I want the Warlock? Let's see. Mentor's Guidance, Warlock can be used. So it's either Elemental Summoning for better lesson. Yeah. Let's sideboard that. Whirlwind Denial, I think I like. Yeah, let's add a Whirlwind Denial to our deck. We do need a certain amount of non-lands. This, well, it's 24 out of 40 cards, which is what you want. 2 of them are already lands, so we actually only have 22 cards. And we want at least 23 playables. Alright. Yeah, I know... Oh, you're explaining to Suiku what lessons. Thank you. Thank you very much, Mindful Eye. Thank you very much. Alright, do I want another Leyline Invocation, or do I want to try to splash for Rutha? I would have Pillar Drop. Yeah, no, I don't think the splash is worth. And the Leyline Invocation is our win condition. It will be our 4th Leyline Invocation, and basically, victory is ours. Once we get to 6 mana. It is kind of top-heavy. I'm not going to deny we have a top-heavy deck. Ooh. Let's just put that start there. Tangle Trap might be good, but I think we have enough answers to flyers right now. Introduction to Prophecy. Again, a lesson that we could pick up when we need to. And, yeah, so there are some lessons, like Introduction to Prophecy, that are monocolored, so no matter what deck. Yeah. Oof. I think I have more than enough layers of acceptance. I need... Yeah, I'm just picking cards that I want to have in my... No, I'll just put... Field Research, in case I ever do splash that red. Intro to Annihilation, yeah, it's... Teach by Example is actually playable if I really want to. And another Pillar Drop Warden. Alright. So I'm going to look at my red, because I did have a good amount of red. But not good enough. I have 0 knowledge about Magic. That's perfectly okay. I'm going to try to explain it the best I can. But also, this is a complicated set. Alright, so we have 2 Manifestation Sages, 4 Leyline invocations, so that's some good heavy endgame. So I have some good big bodies to just smash people's heads in, so that's good. So for my late game. For my early game, I have 2 Death Touchers to just hold the line, prevent them, plus a ramp creature. Quandrix Surprise is great. I'm just going to hover over this for a bit. So whenever I cast an instant or sorcery, I reveal a land card, I can look at the top 3, and if there's a land in there, it goes to my hand. So it basically just gets me all the lands I need. Yeah, then I have another land drop here in Eureka Moment, another land drop in Field Trip. Then I have some good stops with Whirlwind Denial and Negate. Mentor's Guided to help me draw cards, Eureka Moment to help me draw cards. 15 non-creatures, but 2 of them are artifacts, worth noting. So there are 13 non-creatures for these. Was there any card that I could have played that I didn't? Just the Letters of Acceptance and the Tangle Trap. That card screwed me over once. Only Wincon was top of my deck, which I could have grabbed with a spell, but no, it must... But it's a must... That's not a may. Oh, for Quandrix Apprentice? Oh, so you have to look at the top 3 and put them on the bottom. Okay. Ah, that sucks. Sorry to hear that. I've played Magic Legends, and that's pretty much it. I only know about the different colors of Magic. Alright. Whew. I'll try to do the best I can to explain my actions as I go. Yeah, really helps with lands. So we have 17 lands. Do I want the Tangle Trap? I don't think there's anything so bad that I want... And as I'm saying it, I'm wondering if I want to rip out the Golden Ratio for a Tangle Trap. If I do, my card draw is in Quandrix Campus and Quandrix Apprentice and Eureka Moment. Oh, and Mentor's Guidance. Alright, so we have enough card draw, I think. I'm going to go with that. I just don't trust that card. I just don't trust that card. Alright. Here's our deck. Just Quandrix Invocation. The artifacts I can think of aren't that strong. Well, there are some artifacts like Poet's Quill on Team Pennant. So there's not many artifacts in this format. But the few artifacts there are like rares that are really good. Yeah, only one rare being Poet's Quill. But the other thing is it kills flyers. How do I deal with flyers? I have a Needle Thorndrake and a Master Symmetrist. I have 3 cards total that can do anything about flyers. So that's why I wanted just another flying option. I'll try. Okay, look, I haven't played Golden Ratio before. I'll try Golden Ratio for now. We'll see how Golden Ratio works, and if it does poorly, we'll pull it out. My big worry is that I'm going to play Golden Ratio and draw 1 card. And I paid 3 mana to cycle. Alright. Adelaide. Let's go. I go first. Got Quandrix Campus to do Needle Thorndrake into a Field Trip. Beautiful. Whew. By the way, cards are for in-game currency, or do you have to buy with real money? There's both. I only use in-game currency. I do not spend money on this game. And this game is really tempting. If you cannot control your wallet, do not get this game. I'm sorry. I cannot recommend this game if you cannot control your wallet. I'm not going to block the Hall Miner. I need my Needle Thorndrake for more. Alright. That's fine. So the question is, do I Quandrix Apprentice? It will stop his Hall Monitor, and it does mean that I could hold up Eureka Moment and Whirlwind Denial next turn. It will prevent me from ramping, though, so if I'm at 5 mana next turn... Okay, if I'm at 5 mana next turn, I could hold up Whirlwind Denial and have Quandrix Apprentice in play. I like that better. So we're going to Field Trip now. So we get a Forest. And... let's get the Elemental Summoning for this point in the game. So he's afraid that next turn I could just play a 4/4, but I'm actually going to play Quandrix and hold up a denial for whatever spell he plays on his turn 4. Pilgrim of the Ages, that's fine. I think that's what mostly do in this deck. But you already had a play on 5. Well, this, basically I needed the ramp, and so this will, I do actually, so do I want to hold the denial now? And then next, okay, so if I hold the denial now, yeah, there's a certain point where Wound Denial doesn't counter everything it needs to counter. And this will also allow him to play a combat trick and get himself blown out due to the Whirlwind Denial. The only way this fails is if he spends the mana to trigger his Hall Monitor, which means he's not developing anything. Is X2, which could... Leyline Summoning is X minus 2, which could be more mana efficient with a play on 6 mana. The thing is, I want to just get a 4/4 out pretty soon. Alright. The fact that he has that tells me he has Make Your Mark as a spell. I just don't want to play into that right now. I'll have a 5/5 in just a sec. Awesome. So I gotta have... Wait. I can Needle Thorn Drake and have Eureka Moment on the back line. I like that better. Because this holds up, threatens him in his actions. Now I'm going to attack with a Quandrix and leave back the Needlethorn Drake. Because I don't want to trade out this Quandrix Apprentice just yet. And I want to kind of force him into an awkward position. As long as he's only dealing 3 damage, I'm not too scared of him. Alright, I'm actually going to block the Pilgrim of the Ages. Let's see what he does. He doesn't have enough mana to bring it back. Alright, so Make Your Mark. That's what I thought. At least I forced him to spend it now. And then I have a Needlethorn Drake still for the 3/2. Let's see what else he does for his turn. Alright. Gave myself all my lands. Maybe too many of my lands. Start with a Curate. Alright, perfect. That's going to be 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we want the Leyline Invocation this turn. The question is, do I want the Manifestation stage still in the deck? No, I think we're getting to a point where there's not enough cards in my deck. There we are. And here's our 8/8. I think we just, yeah, play it now. Be mana efficient. Scare the living bejesus out of this guy. And I'm okay trading my Quandrix Apprentice now. Yep. Go right ahead, sir. And you just left 4 mana unspent last turn. Now I have a Quandrix Campus. Alright, so he defended the Campus. Okay. I'm not trading my Needlethorn Drake for a Hall Monitor. I just can't. Alright. So I need 5 mana for this. So here's what I'm doing. I'm playing the Leyline Invocation this turn. And that will allow me to, next turn, play Elemental Summoning and use my Quandrix Campus still. Which I guess, now that I found the ways around my turns, you are correct that the Fractal Summoning would have been better between the two. Alright. I'm now attacking with my 9/9. Let's see what you do. You just block with a 1/1, don't you? Yep. This is what I expected from you. Now what? You're not black, green. You're not black. You don't have a way to give that feed Death Touch. Alright. And make sure to keep a stop on my upkeep in case I want to scry at the start of my turn as well. Yep. So yes, he's going to be making 3/2s. I'm going to keep scrying and just swinging in with my 4/4 and 9/9. Because I don't care about his 3/2s. Alright. Thing is, with 6 mana Leyline, it's a 4/4, or which is the same, and if it sticks to your hand, you can still use it for more or less mana. Yeah, I recognize I made a mistake. I do. Just... draw? Gonna attack with both. And now I just need to keep pressing board. And he's going to take 9 damage. Okay. Does he have a way to get a guy through my Needlethorn Drake? Is that his plan? To just win the game here? Like, I'd see no other reason you'd make that move. Because I am low on... I'm going low on health. But I'm not letting him, like, solve this board state. He has Grinning Ingus in play. Congratulations. He can activate the ability only as a sorcery, so can't really solve the issues in front of him. And this is why I like Team Pennant. Main phase. He has no cards in hand. Equip creature token. Let's get ourselves a 12/12 Vigilance Trampler to go alongside all of our damage output. So he has to block this. So he has to block these two if I attack with them. I think this is good enough. I don't want to... Oh no, this guy has Vigilance. Yeah, let's attack with all. I'm okay trading my 4/4 as 4/3. There we are. Alright. The thing is, with 6 mana Leyline... Alright, so we got that. Felt more flexible overall when you already knew that you wanted to do with 5 mana. I'm just trying to explain my thoughts, not wanting to feel bad. Then, what card... Why is that card in red-white? It was lethal with all. I just was trying to be safe. Thank you. I gotta keep track of the lethals. So why is that card in red-white? If you're talking about the... So, a lot of these decks, they're trying to be their own sort of unique theme. And red-white is a lot of... So it's pump spells at the beginning, but then it's an attrition deck. It has to do with Lorehold Command. I know that Lorehold Excavation does seem like a black card, doesn't it? Where it's milling cards off the top of your deck, and then you're using them to make creatures. Like, if those were zombies instead of spirits, you could easily make that just like the black, a pure black card. But Lorehold is an excavation and historian sort of a concept, and it was the history. That's the history card. But yeah, it definitely feels like a black card, even though it's red-white. Oh, you were talking about, oh, you're talking about the Imp. So the Imp was actually a card, I think that was reprinted in, like, not Kamigawa, but around that era. The original Ravnica. I think that Grinning Ingus was in the original Ravnica. So, he probably just saw as a, you know, I can't assume my opponent's intentions. He probably saw it as a good card. So here's the theme. I recognize this is probably not a good hand, but it's technically a turn 1, a turn 2, and turn 3 is equip. It's all the lands I'm going to need, and I really do not like having 6 cards in draft. So, I'm a keep, despite my every warning sign telling me this is a bad hand. But yeah, now we have a Flying Death Touch Trample Vigilance. Alright. I think we're going to negate next turn. I wanna do this. I'll negate next turn. Negate is always good. This is not. Oof. Okay. Couldn't negate that anyways. Not gonna block this time. Or do I save? Nah. We gotta keep going on curve. It's not like I could have negated last turn anyways, so. If he attacks with both, then he's telling me he has some... Like, Killian is definitely a threatening card. This is one of the big bombs in the set. But there's only so much it can do. And it's starting to run thin, I think, already. So next turn, I could actually equip the Master Simagist, attack in with 5/5. And, alright, so he tapped out all his mana, basically. I am alright with his double block. I am perfectly happy with his double block. I don't want his Life Leeching guys sticking around. Alright. So here's the question. Do I Wormhole Serpent, or do I Team Pennant and Swing in? Leave open in the gate. I like the Team Pennant, because then he can't block successfully. And if he has, like, a combat trick during the next turn, I could just negate it. Of course, if he targets his Reflective Golem, there's not much I could do there. Just make sure not to use the negate if I don't have to, because he probably has 2 combat tricks this turn. Alright. No, not this turn, I guess. He didn't realize. Okay, he realized. Alright, so I have attack with this. He blocks with all. I kill his Combat Professor as Pillar Drop Rescuer. I am happy with that. He has to... Yep. He's going to play Killian, and then he's going to have 3 mana open for whatever else he wants to do. I'm going to just play Vortex Runner and leave the negate open. Next turn, I can Wormhole Serpent, and again, leave the negate open. Alright, he has his mana. So he could Killian and still use a targeted card. If he has an answer for Master Symmetrist, we can negate that specifically, which I appreciate. Do I negate the Accelerating Elocution? Yeah. I think that just applies too much pressure on me. Probably should have waited for him to copy it, but... Alright, so he's going to turn that into a 5/5 and attack. And I'm actually going to let that through, but if he attacks with anything else, it dies. Because here's the thing. That card. So he still has to double block to stop the Master Symmetrist. And if he does, then I just... If he doesn't... And, like, this is a threatening... Yep, look at that. And now we just play Wormhole Serpent. And as long as we don't let our Master Symmetrist die, we have lethal. And it looks like we're holding up a second negate. Yeah, we have so many routes to lethal right now. Especially when he taps out like that. I'm gonna let it slide. Alright, thank you for doing that now. So now he taps those to hope he has lethal. But here's the thing. This is a 3/3. I just Team Pennant, switch it to the Vortex Runner, attack him for 4. Definitely good. He kept it close. He kept it close. But... Ugh. Here we go. So I have not played it in a while, so I ranked all the way back down to Broads and stayed there for a while. I was just thinking about just equip and unblockable. Oof. Best Magic player, just comparatively. I'm just like the thing is I'm got D ranked. So, re-equipping seems broken. Suicune, the idea is it's expensive. If you couldn't re-equip, the cards would just be trash, okay? Like, re-equipping costs 3 mana for an effect that would be worth 1 mana if you didn't re-equip it. So, that's the general benefit. And also why I think Team Pennant is underestimated. But yeah, the best Magic player NA sort of thing. There are definitely better players, but the thing is I got D-ranked, so I'm compared to Copper or to Bronze players when I'm really much higher. And that's the reason it looks like that. Looks like a bad hand. If he's aggressive, this is a bad hand. I am banking on the fact that this format is not very aggressive. Because I have all the lands I need to basically go straight into a field trip, fractal summon, to field trip, at either, so if I draw a single island, I get my 4/4 that I wanted, and then I could on turn 6 play Leyline Invocation, and then I have a Eureka moment to load up again. I'm not smurfing in bronze, I'm getting out so I could stop being a smurf. In before black-white aggro. It is possible. It is possible. Alright. Nope. Looks less aggressive than me. Alright. So, do I want... Okay, so first we grab the forest. So we're going to be at 5 mana next turn. I do not have the blue to cast elemental summoning. So the question is, do I fractal summoning? Or do I... Yeah. I'm going to take the fractal summoning at the very least. I could just play as a 3/3 if I need to. Or I could just say, hey, we're holding up the Whirlwind Denial and the Eureka moment. Okay. So either he has no lands, and he's doing this as a way to try to get mana. Which, if that's the case, I'm sorry, sir. Okay, then he just made a mistake. Alright. So normally, you would wait to play Eureka Moment later, but I need to use the Eureka Moment to put this force on the battlefield so I can play Cram Session. So, I'm going to actually just play this now. Alright, with the Fractal Summoning in play, we'll grab the Elemental Summoning as... Elemental Summoning or the Intro to Prophecy? I think it's time for the intro, actually. We are mana... We have heavy mana, and we have Leyline Invocations on their way. Alright. Here's his first actual threat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... So I can play Manifestation Stage now. Create a 6/6. Then I could use this land to play Intro to Prophecy or hold up the Whirlwind Denial. I think we'll hold up the Whirlwind Denial. Scare the ever-loving everything out of him. Because, yeah, when you see that the person has a 3-mana play and didn't take it, that is terrifying. Whew. Only if you understand the game. I mean, fair enough, if you don't understand the game, you might just think, oh, he just forgot. Yeah. I just go smash. Oh, he forgot to play. Well, he can't really. If he attacks with... The whole reason I'm doing this is because he might attack with a Moldy or Karok, and I want to counter his buff. This basically forces him to be unable to attack. If he attacks, I am blocking and I am countering. And he knows it. Well, he might not know exactly it, but it's happening. Yep, infused with Vitality, here we come. Oh, I don't care about that. Go ahead. You don't have Death Touch. I'll counter what else he plays this turn. A prophecy of his own. Okay, so where's your actual card? Where's your infuse? Play it. Alright, so He spent all those resources just to trade these cards. And it trades. I'm okay with the trade, actually. I'm okay with the trade. Take it. Take it. Sir, take it. There you are. You're welcome. You're welcome. I hope you're happy. So we're going shields down because he's intro prophecying something else. And we're picking up Powerhouse. Have fun. Have an 8-8. Good job dealing with a 6-6. Yeah, no. It wasn't even a 2-for-1. He also Arcane Subtraction. It was a 3-for-1. It was a 2.5-for-1, probably, because this is a learn card. So that was a 2.5-for-1, everyone. That guy just gave me... Scry is you look at the top cards and move them around. So let's you move them around or at the bottom if you just don't want to see them at all. So the Scry 2 basically says, all right, here's my 2 cards. They both suck. Bottom it, draw whatever is on top. Or, ooh, one of them is good. Let's put this one on the bottom, and this one will keep up and draw it. So he kept them both, so he liked both his cards, and he gets to draw one now. He gets to draw guaranteed one, so he draws his land that he's been needing. So he now has the lands he needs. I'm assuming he's going to try a Bury Book. He's going to try to use Bury Books. Oh, nope. He's going to get wrecked. That's what he's going to do. He's going to get hyper wrecked. And I am not sorry. Yep, I want to see what he does. If he double blocks the manifestation stage, I'm killing Zimone. I want to kill his card draw. Otherwise, I'm putting a clock on him. I don't need card draw right now, and I already have a Team Pennant. Alright. That's good. We now have a Whirlwind Denial open for whatever else he kept on his deck. So I'm assuming a Bury Books is about to come on. And I get a Whirlwind Denial it. I think your opponent's just like, I didn't sign up for this. Manifestation Sage was nice. I mean, it was a 4-4. It was a 2-2 at a 6-6 for 4 mana. Even if it was a 2-2 at a 4-4 for 4 mana, that'd be good. Yep. He's looking for his outs, and I think he's starting to... I'm not sure if he realizes that it is, in fact, a counterspell in my hand. He knows. Destroy the Team Pennant? Not happening. I just threw my other Team Pennant down. He just main decked a Containment Breach, by the way. He main decked a Lesson. This guy had a bad draft. Alright, what else you got? And he knows I have a Fractal Summoning. That just makes it bigger. No, it sets their base power. He still has +1/+1 counters. That was 2 Lessons main decked. That was 2 Lessons main decked. That was 2 Lessons main decked. And, yeah. So in case you're wondering, Mercurial Transformation is a bad lesson. Because it is sorcery speed, treating a creature to a 1/1 or a 4/4 is... The whole reason you use it is for the target non-land permanent to target, like, a token of some sort that's not a creature. Which is something that this deck set does not have much of. So Mercurial Transformation is a very bad lesson. I think Containment Breach is a good lesson, in the sense that if you already have good lessons, this is a good backup in case they have a Team Pennant or something. Because I had Team Pennant, this was a good lesson, but it's a good lesson to pick up because, oh, this is the guy who has Team Pennant. Let me get a counter for his Team Pennant. This is not a good card to put in your main deck. Not every deck has a Containment Breach. Main decking Containment Breach Yeah, if you're going main deck Lessons, main deck Introduction to Prophecy, not Mercurial Transformation, not Containment Breach. Now, this is the thing. A lot of people focus on Lessons and not Learn. You pick up the Learn first. You can use Learn to loot. You can use Learn to discard a card and draw a card. You can't use Lessons like that. Lessons are bad cards in your deck if you don't have the Learn cards. So, I don't prioritize Lessons as much as other people. I still think they're valuable. Obviously, I had Fractal Summoning, Elemental Summoning, good cards. Just, Alright, so this is where I'm going to break. So I do not like mulliganing, but one Team Pennant is more than enough, so this is overkill. And I'm 2 lands from any other playable card. So I am mulliganing here. Alright. I know this seems weird, but I'm throwing back the Serpentine Curve. Why am I throwing back the cheapest card? Because I can Field Trip into enough mana for Wormhole Serpent, and Leyline Invocation is going to be active before Serpentine Curve is active. Hopefully he's not the aggressor. I'm just going to lurk and keep an eye on chance since... Okay, hold up. So Quandrix Campus comes to play tapped, so you always play tapped when you don't have a play. Since I don't really think I will be able to understand this game, yeah, this is a complicated set in one of the most complicated games of the world, so not surprised. Alright. So I'm going to play an island, and because I have Field Trip, my 5... So, do I want the Wormhole Serpent? Or do I want... Okay, I'm going to Field Trip. We're going to grab our Forest. So if this would be the place for Elemental Summoning if there's a place for Elemental Summoning. Twin Scroll Shaman is better countered by a creature with more toughness than power. So I think Wormhole Serpent is still the play, which means do I just go for Fractal Summoning after the Leyline Invocation? Yeah, because I have turn 5, turn 6, turn 7. There we are. Combat Professor is kind of scary. Not gonna lie. Alright. Here's our 5-drop. I'm actually gonna play Fractal Summoning as our 6-drop, because a 4/4 is as good as a 6/6 and a 7/7. Like, Leyline Invocation is only going to get stronger. Leyline Invocation is only gonna get stronger. Yep, he can only attack with the Combat Professor now, which by all means, the attacks are scary, but... Alright. This is starting to get actual threatening. Drawing only lands is becoming an issue. The first lands were fine. It's as it kept going that became an issue. Do I want the 4/4? Do I want a 4/4 and a 7/7 or a 6/6 and a 5/5? I think I want 6/6 and a 5/5. For this board, I definitely want a 6/6 and a 5/5. If I attack, he could double block like this, and then I only kill 1, and I'm not interested in that. Is red-white strong in this set, or why is this the second one I see? Red-white is very much... So Combat Professor is strong. Red-white is basically the viable aggro deck, is the best way to describe it. There's no... I wouldn't say, like, a specific color is notably strong. Well, there are colors that are notably strong, it's just... We are dying. Oh, God, he has a Radiant Scroll Wielder. One, two, three, four. So do I want the 5/5, or do I just... Let's see. So next turn, Scroll Wielder turns this into a 4/5. I have to kill him in 2 turns. I have to kill him in 2 turns or have an answer to this thing. That's my 2 options. Can I kill him in 2 turns, is the question. No, I cannot. We are Imaginary Skydancing. We are looking for a card. Kill him in 2 turns. This doesn't kill, and this doesn't solve the threat on board already. Thank you. Oh my gosh. And then I'm just going to stall. The longer this game goes, the better it is for me. I just watched a video of someone asking, name a psychic Pokemon. And they answered Gengar. And he dealt with the issue. Well. So now we're back to dying in one hit, and he has even more health. Well, that's game. I'm going to pretend I'm holding a Barian Books. That's the only thing I could think of doing. That's the only thing. And yeah, the Wormhole Serpent's actually keeping my control up. So I look threatening. But yeah, this card is an insane rare. So yeah, Red-White has some of the best rares. It has Radiant Scroll Wielder, it has Hofri Ghost Force. Their dragon is one of the best limited dragons. Forgot about the second Rip Apart. Yes, attack. So some people will feel threatened and not attack with everything. He did not feel threatened at all. Oh well. Oh well. He had a good deck. He had a good deck. And he played it well. He did play it really well. He saw that I was going slow, and he took advantage of that. Yeah, just Radiant Scroll Wielder. Like, look at this. It gives you a recast on every single one of your spells. And it also gives them lifelink, so that he was at full health, basically, the entire game. And then he also had good lessons. Yeah, the Guiding Voice gave him good lessons. The Combat Professor is one of the best monocolored cards in the format. Yeah, this guy had a good deck. I'm not too worried about that. I had a bad hand. He had a good deck. Definitely would have wished for better, but that's okay. That's okay. We're already at 3 wins, which means we broke even. So yeah, you're trying to go for 7 wins, but as long as you get 3. So you play until you get 3 losses. So you want to make sure you get at least 3 wins. That's the general idea. So I hate golden ratio. Not the best hand. Will not deny it's not the best hand. I need to draw an island at some point. Oh, hey. Thank you. And if I could draw a second island... Oh, I just realized, because I play the forest, I can't play a Quandrix Campus if I draw it. Alright. But yeah, golden ratio, I definitely... From playing this... Alright. So, I might just... Because I'm not drawing the green, I might just grab the Intro to Prophecy to get myself the card draw I need. Yeah. Yeah, I want to make sure I actually get to 6 with Leyline Invocation. I'm going to grab the Intro to Prophecy. And yeah, this golden ratio over these 2 games has proven itself worse than Tangle Trap. There have been flying threats I needed to deal with. And this card just is, at best, draw a card. And I don't need that at certain points. At a certain point, you just don't need that anymore. He's a 3-color deck. Alright, if I draw a land, I don't do anything with it, so I'm actually going to hold up. So we're just going to hold the Rika moment. Heading to bed. Good luck. Have a good one. Thank you, sweet kid. Alright, as long as I'm just getting hit by the Seagull Eye Twitch, I'm good. And yeah, he's just gaining a little life, keeping this game slow, but the Leyline Invocation's gonna... Next, gonna give it to you. And next turn, I could equip the Team Pennant, Intro to Prophecy, and still keep the Negate active, which is pretty awesome. Okay, so he's drawing a lot of cards. Yeah, he's ramping pretty solidly. Won't deny that. Yeah. Alright. So I'm ready in the negate for the Infuse It with Vitality that he's going to put on the Eye Twitch. Like so. Bam. Knew it, saw it coming. He still blocks, gets his learn. Assuming he's getting an intro to Annihilation. That's my guess. No, just Fractal Summoning. That's fine. Okay, Manifestation Stage is a little late. Needlethorn Drake is also a little late. I guess the Manifestation Stage could have synergized with the Golden Ratio pretty well, but... Let's see, 1, 2... Darn Culling Ritual. Good card. Yep. Would have made a 4-4. Good to know. Alright. It's cram session. Get myself... It's time for the Fractal Summoning. And while we wait for that Fractal Summoning, we'll create an 8-8. Gosh, Culling Ritual is a really good card. So, as you saw, bore white to me, but also took out my team Pennant. Yeah, Culling Ritual is insane. And then it gives you mana in the process, so it doesn't even anti-tempo you, as it wipes the board. So yeah, Culling Ritual is a really good card. Bruh. Bruh. Alright. That should be 9. I'm just gonna do 9 and see how it... Okay. Just making sure. Alright. Just don't want to get it wrong, you know. Oh, so it's 7. Duh. And yeah, Golden Ratio right now is literally just a... Like, I could have just Tangle Trapped last time. So, like, Tangle Trap is just the better card for this format. Yep, he Fractal Summonings for his own 7/7. I'm just going to cycle Golden Ratio. Beautiful. I do like playing at least one land because we have more Leyline invocations. Yeah, we have one more Leyline invocation and 10 lands. I think that's enough, though. I think we gotta stop. We gotta hold this land as if it's a counterspell. Scare him a bit. The only way I win the race is if he's still threatened by what I have in hand. Yep. He can't infuse with Vitality this. I'm trusting he doesn't have a combat trick. Alright, he comes back as a 0/0, buddy. Just thought you should know. Yep. So in case you're wondering, creatures do not come back with their +1/+1 counters unless it's a card that specifically states enters the battlefield with +1/+1 counters. Counterspell? I'm waiting to see it. Whirlwind Denial is not useful at this point anymore. And yes, I'm okay having an 11/11 instead of a 12/12 and scaring him. Alright. He's not blocking with the Aurafall area list. Is he about to play like a summoning? Nope. Interesting. Well, I mean, I'm swinging in. What's your response? Burying books? You got a berry? Oh, that's a summoning. Just get a bunch of pests to block. This is why Vortex Runner is good. You start get to a point where the board just kind of like mucks up. And then we have an unblockable creature. Huh. Unwilling Ingredients, good for him. He could... Alright. Seriously, I'd definitely attack with the Vortex Runner. I think that's it. I think I wait till I get trample to get through his pests. Because a board stall, because of my Vortex Runner, the board stall game goes to my favor. And this way I don't have to... Okay, it's no longer in my favor. That was quick. Okay. Loud sound effects. Loud sound effects, thank you. At least I still have a 4/4. Yep. Alright. I'll attack with a 4/4 now. Because he doesn't have enough. That's a good card in this board state. So it's now 4/4 and 7/9/9, but it has trample again. And we're applying pressure. He would need specifically infused with Fortifying Draught, I believe is what it's called, to block that 4/4 successfully without using his Archmage. Let's put another stop so I can do that Quandrix Campus again. Alright. He is drawing through a lot of his deck. Cannot deny that. Or a third infuse, you're correct. Fuse Vitality could also solve that. Alright. So there's a trick he's doing, and I'm seeing it. He's going to double block this to give himself another turn. I'm not allowing that. I'm attacking with just Vortex Runner now. I will not let him gain life off of his pests. I actually want to save the Manifestation stage. No reason to develop more on this board right now. So now he needs an answer to Vortex Runner. He's going to attack with all his pests, and I'm not going to block a single one. Go ahead. He's infusing just to give himself the health. Just to give himself the health, because he knows the situation he's in. Notice the amount of cards left in his deck. He is running low. We might just win by mill if this continues. Alright. Well, Manifestation Sage forced that at least. Please tell me that upkeep trigger was in time. It is not a May. Whenever you cast an instant sorcery spell. Sure. That's fine. I mean, I'm not milling myself faster than he is. That's not going to work anymore. So he's afraid of milling himself out. I think not attacking is the play. I think you're correct there. So he would have to block with his Archmage. Yeah. That's fine. What's an 11-10 to a 12-12? As long as the Archmage is in play, he can't play certain cards. He's going to attack with the Archmage, is my bet. Alright, Pledge Mage. That last card is unplayable for him. How's this for pressure? Go ahead, remove one. $11 cards left versus 3. Is that him suiciding? Is that him accepting that the game's over? Yeah, he even grabbed the land. He has this turn and next turn, and then he kills himself. Unless he has Wormhole Serpent. Unless he plays Wormhole Serpent right now, he's dead. What can he do to get himself out of this situation? The only things I could think of is, like, give him trample, which is why I wasn't blocking with a 4/4. Infuse, go right ahead. Go right ahead, please. Bam. Congratulations, you played yourself. That felt good. That felt good. Yeah, there were no spells. There's a Clockwork Librarian, but he didn't have one in his deck, so. Before we continue, I have stated Golden Ratio is worse than Tangle Trap. It is my personal position that Golden Ratio is worse than Tangle Trap. In my sample size of 2, I'd rather have Tangle Trap. Huh. Fantastic sample sizes, by the way. Oh, here comes that boy. And he's gold ranked. Scary boy. Team Pennant. All I need to do is draw an island. And this goes from a bad hand to an okay. This goes from bad to okay. No. Okay, again, I need to draw an island, but this gives me a Quandrix Apprentice and has the late game finale, and I'm not going to 5. I am not going to 5 with lands. With land drops, I am not going to 5. Just not a decision that crosses my mind. Field Trip would actually be great. Grab a Fractal Summoning, put a Team Pennant on it. Nice, can you also receive? No, I should get an Intro to Prophecy. Make sure I draw that island. So yeah, if I draw an island, I could then immediately play it and get Quandrix Apprentice in play. Alright. He's kind of even better. So here's the question. No, I'm not going to equip the Team Pennant. I'd actually rather get the Quandrix Apprentice value. Grab the island. Do I... Manifestation Stage, and then I can equip that with the Team Pennant immediately. I like that. Alright. Do I block? Yes. I think so. Nah. These become unattacked. They cannot act through the Manifestation Stage. Get as big as possible. And there we go. Next turn, I could Leyline Invocation, and Quandrix starts thinning my deck. Beautiful. Tome Shredder, but he has no spells. Yep. For him, it's a board stall. For me, it's a board win. And yes, if he double blocks to kill, I'm 100% down. Get myself another land. Beautiful. And let's re-equip the Team Pennant to the... Actually, no. The 5/5 is big enough. I want to be big enough to block the Fuming Effigy. Alright, so he went wide, but had nothing to do with it. I'm going to keep this 4/4 back now. He's proven himself capable of applying enough pressure for me to keep back. Alright. How do you want to do this? You have no cards in play, in hand, so... Have fun. 8/8 Vigilance Trample. God, I'm so surprised more people don't use Team Pennant. Such a good card. He has to find a lesson. He's just trying to figure out if there's a lesson like Intro to Annihilation. He's a mana off from playing it, so... Alright, so he's going for big plays that... Alright, that makes sense. Get himself a 3/6, but he can't attack with it. If he attacks, I kill. I'm just attacking with a 9/9 and a 7/7. You can now kill the 3/6, and I see no reason. He already has to chump. Alright, so he's like super blocking this. That's perfectly fine. I'm not sure if he realizes this trample. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm still... Alright, we're killing the Flame Painter. Yes, yes we are. And we're killing this guy first. There we are. It's okay. You can have the Tome Shredder, sir. Alright, you can deal 1 damage to me. I'll allow it. I'm gonna... Ready to curate. Yeah, not sure what you can do, sir. You have 1 card. If it's a board clear, I have a Needlethor Drake. With a Team Pennant, which... Yep. There we go. Alright. Things looking good. Wonder if we're getting 7 wins on this first draft of Quandrix. First draft of Strixhaven. And I think we have 2 shots at the final. No. Okay, so we have 2 more to play. And... Okay. Maximum of 3 more games. Minimum of 2. Okay, Team Pennant, Cram Session, Field Trip, Leyline Invocation. This is actually a beautiful... I love this hand. I can decide whether I want what I want for my... I have both my Learn cards, so I could grab both Fractal Summoning and the Leyline. I'm gonna grab the Fractal in case I want Introduction Prophecy after looking at what he has. Alright, so he's Prismari. There's the forest that I wanted. There's the island that I wanted. So now I can also grab Elemental Summoning. There's no land destruction. There's 1 land destruction. But he doesn't have it. That I can count on. Alright. Do I want... So here's the question. Do I want to equip the team... If I equip the Team Pennant, I'm doing nothing else this turn. I don't like that. Especially since now he has a heated debate to take care of that part. Alright, try heating bait this. Yep, next turn I could curate and have the Team Pennant. I'm happy with that. Alright, he got rid of his Test of Talents. That's perfectly fine. Looks like he grabbed a land. Yeah, he played Curate, and then a land, and then Curate. So he's just looking for an answer, which means equipping the Team Pennant on this thing is going to wreck him. That card was too expensive. Whatever this is either a land or answer. I did 2 runs today. They went okay. Like, yeah, they did. I'm just gonna say they went okay. They went about an hour. And yeah. So yeah, nothing like insane in my runs. Still a lot of work I need to do, but my runs went good. Thank you for asking, Mindful Line. Hope your runs were going well as well. I know you feel like you can do better a lot of the time. Alright, so I am going to curate now, because... Get those lands out of my face. I'd rather give the 7/7 trample. Alright, he's going to debate that after, is my assumption. Yep. Still deals 6 damage. Still equip that here. And with Vortex Runner, we threaten lethal. Beautiful. Beautiful. Sad. My runs went both under an hour, so that was nice. Should practice IRAD some more. I'll probably get back to a consistent 40-ish minutes. Yep, practicing IRAD is definitely a thing I need to do. Yep. Not surprised. Team Pennant is a win condition. A lot of people don't realize Team Pennant is an amazing win condition. It just prevents board clogs from ever happening. Did die after the boss goes through the second phase, the time slowdown. Oof. Sorry to hear that, man. It's happened to me. It's happened to me too. It's happened to me too, but yeah. Definitely it feels like the slowdowns. When you get consistent on a boss, the only thing that kills you is the slowdowns. It's kind of funny. Well, alright. This could be the last game. Save us all a game. Keep it all solid. Vicareo. Alright, Vicareo. Bring me to gold. Showing my hidden MMR is amazing. I get a cram session. I get a field trip. Okay, so I gotta decide which ones I want now. So I definitely want the elemental summoning. So I'm gonna just pick that up now. And we'll see from what he does whether or not we're gonna grab the fractal summoning or the intro to prophecy. If I keep drawing lands, I think we gotta do the intro to prophecy. Now we'll grab fractal. Fractal's just so good. Yep. He's Abzan. Alright. I say we apply pressure first. Then we could Quandrix Apprentice into a Mentor's Guidance next turn. Does leave a Mana open, but... like, I want to see him tap out. Alright. Sounds good. I am okay with this trade. Take it. I dare you. I just thought, why not ask a feature to disable it in the Discord? Oh! Yeah, feature to disable the time stop. That would... I get it. Alright. Nothing there. Darn. Do I want a second Quandrix Campus, or do I just want an untapped land? I want an untapped land, I think. Yeah. We already have a campus. We don't need more. And we definitely don't need more lands. There we are. I'm sure he'll be surprised when I'm happy to trade the Quandrix with a Spiteful Squad. But I am. Especially if his next creature's a flyer. Karok Wrangler. I want to see him trade. Coward. 5/5 fractal? Yeah, I think the 5/5 it makes no difference. So I'm going to just make a 5/5 fractal. And Leyline Invocation only gets bigger. And now I know my other 2 Leyline invocations are at the bottom of my deck. Oh well. He's only played 2 cards so far. Alright, so he's making a big old Spiteful Squad. Suddenly, I no longer want to block Spiteful Squad. See, that will turn this into a 7/7 when we block. And I don't really have removal. Yeah, I got no Mage's Duels. I just have to trample over. Which is going to be rough. If he Fractal Summonings for 3/3. Oof. Fortunately, neither of these are flyers. Though fortunately, both of them trade with my 4/4, which I'm happy to do. Yep, we have a lot of our cards at the bottom that we want at the top. Just something I gotta deal with. Tenured Inkcaster, alright. So he's a +1/+1 counter deck. He cannot attack with a Spiteful Squad. If he does, then yeah, I just let it through, and I start wrecking his face in with these 2. Yep, threat and lethal. How you want to block this? I probably could have attacked with a 2/2 as well, because of that. We have so many lands in our hand. And those are all natural draws. This was not the Quandrix triggering, which is pretty sad. Quandrix triggered once, and we have this many lands in our hand. Alright, so now we just let the Spiteful Squad do it, be spiteful. He can't attack, and we have ways to get my 8/8 over. Yep, I'm planning to... I did put a stop so I could scry now, and on the beginning of my upkeep. Oh. That's good. Move, stop, draw. Oh. Accidentally went this far next. Play a land. Fortunately, I cannot play the Leyline Invocation and scry, which is more important. Yeah, more important is applying pressure. All good cards. All good cards. Put up, upkeep, stop. Both manifestation stages are on the bottom, so I shouldn't have to worry about hand size. Like, I've wanted him to play a flyer so that he can Spiteful Squad move all his counters to it, and then have it die. Can't you check most of your deck? Yeah, Pennant or the Snake is probably what you want, and they are still... Well, there's the Pennant. Yep, Wormhole Serpent is not amongst these, so here it is in these top 5. So attacking, equipping an 11/11 is going to force multiple blocks, because even if he blocks with a Spiteful Squad, he does not win the battle. No, 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 no. Wait, wait, wait. He has a 3/3 lifelinker. If I attack with that and this, he blocks the Spiteful Squad here, triple blocks. Alright, Mindful Eye, I need some quick math. Does this kill? Does this kill? Because he needs to double block this at least. Then he blocks here, and he takes 4, 8. No, it does not. Okay. He has to block with... Does he not realize? Then Fuse saves him. The life gain saves him. Well, I'm glad I did not multi-attack. Unfortunately, now has 9/9 lifelinker. Alright, so hold up. 5 cards. One of them is the Serpent. I cannot scry for the Serpent and use its unblock ability in the same turn. He has a Fractal Summoning. He is not playing it, so it's whatever this one card is. If it's not the Serpent, what else gets me through this board? I think I still have to scry for the Serpent just because... Help start moving through the board. Okay, the pause tells me he does not have a combat trick for the Molder and Karok. So if he attacks with Karok, I'm blocking. Alright. I'm still scrying for the Serpent, even if I can't trigger it. That helps me get to the Serpent. No! Oh, thank God! We're gonna play the Serpentine Curve this turn. No, I can't play the Serpentine Curve. Darn Quandrix Apprentice. Do I attack with No, if I attack with Quandrix Apprentice, he blocks with the... If I play a spell, the Wormhole Serpent goes on the bottom of my deck. Alright, so he has Infuses that he can now play on his creatures. Fun interaction, is it not? And he has the Mage Duel. I couldn't play the Serpentine Curve. Alright. Well, at least that's exiled, so he doesn't have the Mage Duel next turn. But I think he just... No, I think he just won the game. Oh! What did I... Oh, because if I do... The Wormhole Serpent The Wormhole Serpent disappears. Alright. Well, he's back at 26 health. Or 16 at the very least. Do I double block? I think I double block. Yeah, he still would have been able to do that in response, so I'm glad I didn't do it. Let's see, what's my... The invocations are not too far away. I can actually use the Quandrix Apprentice to get to my invocations. Alright, start with a Tangle Trap. Yep. Alright, next up. Alright, so I want to play the Serpentine Curve this turn. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 out right now. Gain to 8 does nothing for me. So we'll grab the Campus. So we can start double scrying. Oh, I already played a land this turn. Alright. I mean, we're definitely equipping this. The question is, do I play the Wormhole Serpent now and expose it to what... He only has 2 cards to reveal. Yeah. I'm going to play the Wormhole Serpent as the threat he has to get rid of. Game's not over yet. That feels good. Bookworm is nice. Bookworm's nice on his part. He's keeping the game from being over. And now we want to kill our Quandrix Apprentice. We will take trades that kill our Quandrix Apprentice. Double block the Witherbloom. And I will single block the Molder Karok. And just stop there. Oh, okay, okay. Different than what I expected. Alright, so that goes there. That goes there. I think he's low enough on health we could do that. And then we take 8. I am okay with this. Gives a creature trample. Yeah, I think I'm okay with this. It's not the best, but we now have the Leyline Invocation coming back next. So, and we clear off his board pretty well. Alright. I kind of want him to block with a Bookworm. Limit his draws and give us, you know, more time. The Spiteful Squad is becoming a threat. No. We're going to play a land. I'm going to make this unblockable. Alright. So we threaten lethal next turn. Yeah, your attacking creature will also have vigilance, which is important. Okay. So here's the question. Do I block everything to prevent a combat trick from winning the game on him? Yes, I think I block everything just to prevent the combat trick from winning the game. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, so 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So his Fractal Summoning cannot get big enough. We will have 2 creatures he has to clear. And this will prevent him from having Beaming Defiance, which would kill me. Beaming Defiance would, in fact, kill me. So I'm okay making this block, even though it loses my Wormhole Serpent. Alright. I think that's good game. I don't think he can get through this. $15 lands in a 17-land deck. He has to block the 10-10. And I don't know what he does after that. Alright. And here's another Leyline Invocation. What do you expect from Apprentice? Whew. Beautiful. That was a tough game. That guy held us close. That guy knew what he was doing, held us close. But I just want to state, we know the entire makeup of our deck. We knew the entire makeup of our deck. So we got to scry that to the bomb. No Master Symmetrist was coming. Eureka moment. Manifestation stages weren't good anymore. The Vortex Runner could help with the win condition. Yeah. He had a good deck. That Spiteful Squad and the Karok Wrangler he used really intelligently. Really intelligently. Thank goodness. So I am really proud I had a Tangle Trap for the Mavinda. I'm really glad I made that Brilliance play. I'm really lucky that the Quandrix Apprentice didn't throw back my worm. Okay. We did it, guys. 1 loss, 7 wins. Oh. A little stressed. Thank you, Mindful Line. Thank you for the GGs. Alright, we're going to open packs because I know a lot of people like seeing pack openings. So, and this is kind of a new format set for me, so a lot of cards are going to say new. Maelstrom Muse is nice. The Snarls, so the Snarls were necessary to be printed, but they're not very good lands. They're okay lands. They're lands that people appreciate. Like my good dresses. Ooh, Exodus. Ooh. I feel like there's a... The problem with Exodus is that they're... Actually, you know what? Exodus has some really good, like, brawl decks for him. Because he's 3 colors, and they all... Like, you can make a sack outlet deck sort of thing. Yeah. I like the Blood Avatar more than other people do. Keeping them for after a few more drafts. Yeah, if you're going to do drafts all the time, then why not make a huge pack opening stream? That makes sense. I just like to open them after the draft so you feel like it's the complete setup. The getting the cards afterwards. So with the Team Pennant, I also see people underestimate Zephyr Boots. Flying, it gives you evasion. If you don't have an answer to flyers, this is your answer to flyers. And then if it deals combat, and if it's like a damage dealer, I mean, this is a Smuggler's Copter on a equipment. Definitely more expensive than Smuggler's Copter, which I guess is the issue. Smuggler's Copter's insane because it's a 2-mana 3/3 flyer, but yeah. Light Scribe is good. Light Scribe is good. But I don't plan to draft that aggro deck. When I make my own decks, I usually like combo and stuff. I don't like aggro. That's good. That's good. Thank you, Liliana. I appreciate your presence. I should probably do some non-quick drafts for better rewards, but won't be able to win anything, I guess, now that I'm in Platinum. Carrick Regular, you did your job, but you only do so much job. Tempted by the Auric. So it is the only triple monocolored card in a multicolored format. That is the problem with Tempted by the Auric. But, like, it allows you to steal the massive fractal tokens, so it is a good card, by all means. By all means, it's a good card. Biomathematician. I'm just getting all the mythics. I am very happy. I'm just getting all the mythics. All the mythics. Was fun to use in blue-red. Oh, the Prismari deck. Yep. Definitely the Zephyr Boots or stuff. The dragon. That's cool. We got the dragon. We got the dragon. And we got the Wither